Okay, and right now we're at the stage, we're ready to clear, right? Wrong. At this stage is also where you can do something that can cause your paint job to go horribly wrong. It won't go wrong in front of you, but it'll go wrong down the line.
I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign.
All right, your boy Trigger Man, back in the lab. And today, what we have here, today, man, we're gonna be spraying some 1H1 on this Toyota Camry, damage on the door, plenty of blend room, blend the fender, you know, good amount of blend room on the door, so we'll be okay. Mirror was damaged, got the mirror set up over there. Today, we're gonna talk about how this little thingy right here can prevent your clear coat from delaminating days, weeks, or even months down the road after you paint. No, it ain't no clickbait. And yes, it's very real that this can prevent your clear coat from peeling, okay? So, let's get to it.
Trigger Man. Hey, bro. Now, I done heard a lot of stuff in my days, but a tack rag preventing clear coat from peeling? Now, you ain't been known to give us no clickbait, so, man, you got some explaining to do on this one, Trigger. Tack rag, I'm trying to wrap my head around it. How in the hell your tack rag gonna prevent clear coat delamination? Like, I know it's to pick up lint or dirt, or sometime, you know, you got stuff that's laying on the panel. Like, I don't know, man. I'm trying to wrap my head around this one, Trigger. But I know you always come with something, so I ain't expecting no clickbait from you, brother. And if you do, you know goddamn well I'm gonna unsubscribe.
Okay, first, let me ask you, have you ever seen one of those jobs where it comes into the shop and the clear coat is peeling off, fairly new car, shows signs that it has been repainted, and then you think to yourself, man, it looks like they didn't even sand the car down and the clear just flakes off. You put your blower on it and you're blowing it and it's blowing off and the base underneath is clean. One of those mystery kind of delamination issues. This here, what I'm going to show you, is definitely 1000% a possibility that can happen from this mistake, okay? As well as you not applying your clear coat in the window time for your base coat to set up. You know, some people put that base coat down and then they'll come in the next day to clear it. That happens. People do it all the time. There is a window time, and some people like to push it close to that window. Like, oh, I got 18 hours, or I got such and such hours, but I don't like to play around with stuff like that. Okay. Yes, of course, there's the occasional time. Put down your base coat, you go to lunch, you go do whatever. But any of that next day, I've never done that. I know guys that do it, but hey, to each its own. So, get your metallics down, fairly wet. Okay? I've been preaching that from my first video. Get your metallics down wet. And here's why.
Okay, right now we're at the stage where we're ready to clear coat, right? Wrong. Okay, this is where you can run into issues where your paint job, not your base, but your clear, can delaminate from this step right here, okay? You guys that are putting your metallics on dry, not putting them wet enough, you're putting them on dry, and the metallics are drying before they hit the panel. When you come to the panel and you wipe, you use your tack rag, and you tack it off, and if you get color on here, that tells you those metallics are drying too fast. It's drying before it even hits the panel. The metallics are just sitting on top of here. The metallics are not adhered to this panel. So when you guys are doing all that dry, light coats, you know how I always preach to put your base coat wet, put your metallics wet. Wetness is adhesion. Wetness adheres to this panel. When you spray that stuff dry and it lands on top of here, it's just sitting there. It's just like something sitting on top of there, and you're clear coating on top of that. So the clear coat has not even adhered to the panel, to the base. Let me show you guys something. Now this is gonna be a bit extreme, but hopefully it'll help to get my point across. As you see here, these are metal flakes. This is what's in your paint, okay? There's metal flakes sitting on here. That's basically what you have when you spray your metallics dry. And now you go and you clear coat over this. This is just sitting up there. Like this is nothing. This is when you tack rag and all of this comes off on your tack rag, this is exactly what you have. This is exactly what you have. And that's no good. Clear coat sitting on top of dry metallics, the clear coat is not adhered to the panel. It's gonna fail. You know, you might get lucky and get a year out of it, but it's gonna fail. Get your metallics down wet and make sure you tack rag. Make sure you tack rag. Use the tack rag. If you have to do it in between coats, you know, if metallics are going on dry, you have poor adhesion. So just another reason for you guys to practice getting your base on there wet and get some adhesion. You did.
So make sure you use those tack rags, okay? Use it in between coats. Some of you are scared to use it in between coats for whatever reason. So use it in your last coat. Just make sure you use it before you clear coat. Just like when you're doing a metal flake paint job, why do you think they have the intercoat that you put the flakes in, you stir it up, and you put it on? Has to go on wet, or some people put it in their clear coat. Even put it in your base coat blender, but it has to go on wet. That's why when they do metallic jobs, they just don't walk around the car and throw a handful of metal flake on the vehicle. That inner coat acts as a carrier for the metallics. Okay? So use your tack rags, okay? Don't be scared of, I don't even know what the hell people be scared about. I have seen comments where people don't like to use them, they're scared to use them. One thing I would highly advise against is if you use a tack rag on a silver metallic job and then you have a black vehicle that you're doing, you might want to have a separate tack rag for that. I have done it. I'm going to tell you, I have done it in the past where some of the metal flake that's in the tack rag actually gets on the black vehicle, and then you go to clear it. When you pull it out in the sun, one spot will look like it kind of has metallics, the rest of the vehicle doesn't. That I have done before in a past life. Don't judge me. As well as not cleaning out the gun properly after a metallic job and then spraying some clear over black, and then the flakes in the black that aren't supposed to be. So it happens. So I've heard.
Right, we got it done, So what it looking like, So again, you guys that are putting those metallics down dry, no, stop it, okay? Stop it. Get your application a little wetter. Not wet to where it's running and it's ridiculous, but a wetter application than what you're doing, okay? So if you're taking your tack rag and it's full of metallics, your metallics are dry, that stuff is dry before it even lands on the car. So it's either your reducers are wrong, your technique is wrong. So change one, change both if you think they both could use improvement, and get better. It'll get better, it'll get better, it'll get better, okay? So I'll get this out in the sun a little later and we'll take a peek at it. Till then, peace.
Okay, and this is what we're looking like a couple hours later out in the sun. So that's it. Everything's uniform, everything's smooth. That's what you want on metallic jobs, okay? Prevent that clear coat delamination. Play around with those reducer temperatures, play around with your technique, use your tack rag, and you should be good to go, okay? Thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed the show. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.